La cabaña con el techo azul estaba silenciosa como siempre. En un sueño fugaz, la investigadora de paracausalidad descubrió la verdad detrás del dado de Babilonia. Examinó cuidadosamente los patrones ocultos, como un astuto astrólogo rastrea los movimientos de las estrellas. Lo que pueda parecer errores o accidentes no niega las verdades del destino. Por el contrario, afirman su existencia. Solo pregúntale al gran Heráclito. En un universo no observado, el dado de Babilonia gira perpetuamente, dictando el destino de todos en un tiempo que es tanto infinitamente largo como infinitamente corto. Mira, cerró los ojos. Respetaba la aleatoriedad de los números y el destino. Respetaba el juicio del dado. De lo contrario, se habría perdido sumisamente en los huecos del tiempo y bajaría para siempre como un fantasma en el olvido.
First, allow me to make one thing clear. I had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to the Idealist yesterday. I swear it on my career as a writer. As you all know, the Idealist and I are the representatives of the two factions of La Sociedad de Poetas de las Américas. As you also know, we have been at peace since the Let Sleeping Dogs Lie agreement was signed a few months ago. Despite our differing views, we have coexisted to this day under the watchful gaze of the Central Tower. Rest assured that we will work tirelessly to locate the missing Idealist.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself, Miss Octavia. His death wasn't your fault. After all, he was the one who threw the first verbal dagger.
Show some respect, you morons. The Idealist is missing, not dead. I'm sure he'll show up in one piece before we know it.
Better face the hard truth now, Roberta. Though, I have to say, it won't be easy for you to find a no leader as mad as him.
Please, everyone, quiet down. According to the agreement, today's Congress should have been chaired by the Idealist. Since he is still missing, I will be acting on his...
Pardon my lateness. Go ahead. I'm ready to moderate. Miss Ford, I looked over the incarceration and visitor records from the past 6 months. There was no mention of anyone named Doris.
Then it seems only the physician knows the whereabouts of Dr. Dorez. Miss Jailer, we need to meet with the physician. It's important.
Listen, you really shouldn't take the inmates' ramblings too seriously. But if it's as critical as you say, I'll make another request later. That said, I'm afraid the meeting won't happen for at least a few days.
Understood.
For now, please join us for today's Congress.
Espectacular! Do you hold literary salons like this every day? This place is practically a writer's paradise. So, you're the host of the salon, Octavia? I say we set aside our differences and have a titillating literary discussion.
You've come at the right time. You may serve as witnesses for the Congress alongside the jailer, like a citizen's jury in a court.
Your suggestion aligns with the congressional rules. Very well.
Huh? Congress? Witnesses? Isn't this a salon? Which topic are we discussing? Literary theories? Schools? Principles? Languages? Oh, narrative perspectives?
None of those. This Congress is about the randomness of fate, Miss Recoleta.
Randomness of fate?
Dear visitors from the Foundation, allow me to introduce the Kamala Congress. What happened yesterday was merely a brief anomaly. In the Panopticon, spontaneous order among the inmates is the norm, and the Kamala Congress serves as its truest reflection.
Spontaneous order?
Yes. Through the Congress, the inmates assign and distribute medication, communal duties, and rest periods. They are entirely self-regulated.
I hereby announce the commencement of the 7th Kamala Congress.
A cardboard box and... is that a paper die? It has 20 sides.
Huh?
We carefully examine hidden patterns, much like an astute astrologer tracks the movements of the stars.
Isn't this just like the Die of Babylon? The MacGuffin that weaves through the entire plot? The infinite symbiote of fate? And the symbol that compresses time into a shriveled circle?
What may seem like errors or accidents doesn't negate the verities of destiny. On the contrary, they affirm its very existence. Just ask the great Heraclito. In an unobserved universe, the die spins in perpetuity.
Dictating the fate of all in time that is both infinitely long and infinitely short?
Look, I've closed my eyes. I respect the randomness of numbers and destiny. I respect the die's judgment.
Otherwise, we will acquiesce and lose ourselves in the gaps of time and wander forever as ghosts in oblivion.
I don't understand what's going on. Oh, but the irony that I probably have more idea what's going on than anyone here.
Miss Recoleta, this is all in your novel, isn't it?
I'm afraid so. The recitations, the references to an astrologer and Heraclito, they couldn't possibly be just a coincidence. Then, could it be? Will they look to the die to dictate their fate?
I shall perform the first roll. Its result will determine the subsequent roll order for this Congress. The result is 5. This check complies with the prerequisite conditions of the ruling of the die, and the standard roll order has been established. Inmate Jose, please come forth. You are the first in the initiative order. Therefore, fate's judgment shall fall upon you before all else.
Me? Okay. It's 17! Ah, what a wonderful number! 17! Like an oasis in an endless desert.
The result is 17, and the score combination 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3. According to the ruling of the die, he shall receive 60 risperidone tablets, 40 clozapine tablets, and 40 diazepam tablets. Additionally, he will assume the role of cultural manager of the Comala Congress. Before he takes office, inmate Jose must clean the first restroom for the next 7 days.
Wonderful! I'll gladly clean the toilet. I've got the brooms here, the toilet detergent, oh, and the toilet brush too. I have been waiting for this opportunity. As cultural manager, I will speak with every inmate and complete the Comala memoir, finally capturing the moments when literary sparks ignite and explode.
Next is inmate Eduardo. Please come forth.
But I can't remember the ruling of the die. I can't remember anything. Damn it. Sorry, Senora Octavia, but I don't think I can do this. I didn't get any medication in the last Congress. I've had multiple episodes. It's like my brain's jammed or something.
It's all right, inmate Eduardo. It's easy. You don't need to know the rules to roll the die. Give me your hand, I'll help you. My sincerest apologies, inmate Eduardo. The die dictates that you must voluntarily descend into the sewers and write the thematic keyword that currently causes you the most anxiety on the walls.
Thank you very much, Miss Octavia. I think my head's about to split in half. I need a moment to rest before I head down there and fulfill my destiny.
Jailer, are you really letting them make every decision with the roll of a die? Eduardo is clearly in a much more dire condition than Jose. The medication should have been given to him.
As I said, this is how the inmates of the Panopticon maintain order. The physician periodically provides medication, food, and other necessities, and the inmates distribute them in this spontaneous and efficient manner. Neither authority nor violence is involved in this process. This is what sets Comala apart from all other custodial facilities.
Is that it? You abdicate all agency to the roll of a paper die and call it the randomness of fate? What kind of sick joke is this?
Please calm down, Recoleta. This is the method that the inmates have collectively decided to recognize. They're prepared to face the possible sacrifices that it brings. This isn't about you or me. It's not our place to interfere with a procedure that has been proven both pragmatic and effective. My duty is to assist the inmates in maintaining order through the methods that they have established. And yours is to witness their self-governance, not judge it.
If everything somehow unfolds as it does in my novel, then every role is already predetermined. Verton, do you remember the story I told you last night? The odds of both success and failure were consecutively multiplied.
I remember.
As soon as a character experiences a failure, they continue to suffer failures in an endless chain reaction. None of Eduardo's future dice rolls will ever result in a number higher than 10. At this rate, this system, this sociedad, ruled by the dice of Babylon, is bound to collapse. Eduardo will never receive any medication. The moment he writes the keyword on the wall could very well be the moment he spells out his own death. No, I can't let this happen. I have to do something.
Wait, Miss Recoleta, what are you doing?
Miss Recoleta, as a witness to the Congress, you have the right to express your doubts calmly.
Listen, you... No, it's nothing. It's just that I'd like to participate in the dice rolling ceremony. May I?
Of course. The very fact that you're standing here in the Panopticon proves that you share a common fate with it.
It doesn't matter when I roll the die, since the rolls are simply a reflection of the randomness of fate, right?
Precisely.
Then I'd like to perform my role after the 27th inmate. Is that all right?
As you wish, Miss Recoleta.
Show me what you've got. Let's got some trouble brewing. Más allá de the show's on, hounds. Give this a taste. Cosmología, filosofía clásica, time el fundamento del mundo. Even for a great people. En todos los momentos. Ready? Plan A. Huh. A truly villainous moment. Fire! Get ready! Ready? Aim! Get ready! I've got some trouble brewing. Ready? Aim! Wait for the pop! My crucible really has a mind of its own. This will hurt longer if I miss. I've got some trouble brewing. Más allá de en todos los momentos. Fire! Nuestro adversario es el tiempo. Cosmología, filosofía clásica, el fundamento del mundo. El camino de Showzan en la acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más. Time waits for no one, even for a great people. Andy, en todos los momentos. Wait for the pop! A mice pop. Do I have to do this? That one's smooth.
Exactly. It seems fate favors you, Miss Recoleta. Here are your supplies. Please be sure to follow the distribution rules of the Congress. This is an essential structure of Comala, and a belief shared by all its inmates. Honor it.
Just as I suspected. These supplies belong to me now, Octavia. I'm free to use them however I please. Here, Eduardo. Take them.
But I haven't fulfilled my destiny yet. These precious tablets and capsules, I can't accept them. They are gifts from fate. The die has placed them in your palm.
But I don't need them. You do.
Thank you, kind señorita.
Eduardo, what's wrong? Are you taking the medicine right now? There's no need to rush. There's plenty of it. You can have it all.
Por Dios, Eduardo! How could you squander fate's gifts like this? Kind señorita, please, give me the medication. I need it more than anyone else.
No, I'm the one who needs the most. Give me the medication. I beg of you. With the protection of these amulets, I might finally be able to get a peaceful night's sleep. No more trembling floors and wailing ghosts.
Enough! Enough! You shouldn't have done that, Miss Recoleta. Your ignorant generosity could shatter the very basis of our survival. We have never had such chaos at the Congress. Understand this. We rely only on the randomness of fate to distribute supplies and assign responsibilities. If you disrupt the status quo, the entire system of the Panopticon will collapse beyond repair. It is only by respecting the arbitrariness of fate and adhering to the rules of the Die of Babylon that we have kept this place functioning all this time.
The Die of Babylon? Tell me, how did you know this name? Are you the one orchestrating this whole thing? ¿Podría ser? ¿Eres Aleph? ¿Tal como sospechaba Verdun?
Let go of me, Miss Recoleta! Have you gone mad? The role of the die is absolutely random. I'm not orchestrating anything. Before the Congress began, I made an oath. I intend to keep it.
Please, calm down, Miss Recoleta. I think she's telling the truth.
Sorry, Octavia, but please, you have to tell me how you learned about the Die of Babylon. I must know. Only my pen pal and I should have any knowledge about this die.
I heard about it from the physician. He described it as a symbol of collective consciousness that we could harness to maintain immaculate order in the Panopticon. The Comala Congress was coined, iterated, and perfected by the physician based on this concept.
The physician again. Everything eventually leads back to him. Just as we suspected.
I see. Jailer, we have to meet with the physician in person. Now.
As I've told you many times, Dr. Merlin is too busy at the moment. I couldn't possibly trouble him over a novel and a pen pal. They are just fantasies.
Couldn't you make an exception? What if they're not just fantasies? What if they're tied to the very survival of this place? Miss Recoleta said the Panopticon could collapse because of the Die of Babylon.
Are you seriously telling me you believe that nonsense?
It wasn't nonsense, nor are they fantasies. You saw with your own eyes how I won the die roll.
It was just a coincidence.
What if we present you with stronger evidence to prove it's more than just a coincidence? If everything in the Panopticon proceeds according to Miss Recoleta's novel as she says, she should be able to predict what happens next, including the roll results of the absolutely random die.
That's right. The Die of Babylon isn't random at all. It's nothing but a supercilious fraud veiled under the guise of fate, and an actor of the inescapable loop of history. And not one of you is paying attention to me whatsoever. Ugh, to hell with this era of ignoring unknown writers.
Miss Recoleta, please make your prediction for the next inmate's die roll. This way, you can prove to Miss Jailer the irrefutable connection between Kamala and your novel, The Rise and Fall of Sanity.
You finally remembered its name! Oh, what sweet balm to my spirit!
Miss Octavia, please continue the Congress and let the next inmate perform their role. Then Miss Recoleta's statement will be proven true.
I appreciate the reminder. No matter the interruption, the Kamala Congress must go on. Though not for Miss Recoleta's sake, of course. Next inmate, please. Hello, inmate Garcia. You know what to do.
Of course.
La sexta cara. Un pilar roto. El flujo de la fortuna y la calamidad. So the result of the next roll will be a 6.
As fate reveals, the number is 6.
Just as Miss Recoleta predicted.
That could still be a coincidence. Do it again.
La 13ª cara. Una cadencia desconcertante, sin un verdadero principio ni fin. La 4ª cara. Un hombre que se ahogaba usó el último de sus fuerzas para nadar a la seguridad, solo para descubrir que había confundido un espejo con la superficie del agua. La 17ª cara. Cojeaba hacia el distante oasis, solo para que la débil humedad y la inquietante quietud revelaran cruelmente que era un espejismo. La 6ª cara. Otro pilar roto con grietas idénticas a la última. Confirmó la hipótesis de la investigadora de paracausalidad. Este lugar solía ser un edificio circular. Is that enough? I've almost finished the entire chapter.
It's not possible. Who are you?
I'm sorry if this comes as a shock to you, but I did warn you, Octavia. Now it's proven. The Die of Babylon is anything but the so-called randomness of fate.
Have you been sent here by some god? Or are you a hobby prophet? Have you brought this knowledge to save us? Or to shatter our beliefs? Our world? is this thing in my hand? What are we? What is this prison?
I don't know if it's some kind of sorcery or arcane skill, but it's unfathomable. I'll take you to the physician, not because of your earlier request, but because the situation has escalated beyond my means. The overseer of the Panopticon will decide how to handle your situation.
To be honest, Miss Recoleta, I wasn't sure you'd be able to correctly predict everything.
Timekeeper, are you saying that you risked everything on a hunch?
It worked, didn't it?
Come with me. Dr. Merlin's office is in the central tower.
En la sexta versión de mi novela, todos en el pueblo mueren a causa del dado de Babilonia. Porque solo la muerte puede cerrar el ciclo de la historia. Y carcelero, eres el empleado del banco, ¿verdad? Entonces, al final, también sufrirás un colapso como el empleado del banco, cuando se da cuenta de que él y el pescador de dunas son la misma persona. If all of this is tied to the rise and fall of sanity, then, as its creator, I will get to the bottom of this.
Wait here a moment. I'll report the situation and your request to Dr. Merlin. However, since he's always busy, I can't guarantee he'll agree to meet you, but I'll do my best to persuade him.
Now's our chance, Sinetto.
Our chance? What do you mean, Timekeeper?
It's unlikely that the jailer will let us search the central tower, even in this situation. We should take the initiative and look for clues while she's away.
I see, Timekeeper. I will do my best.
Thank you for your assistance, Miss Recoleta. Without your precise predictions, we wouldn't be standing here now. I haven't yet grasped the connection between the die, your novel, and what's happening in this place. But, by process of elimination, it's almost certain that your pen pal, Aleph, is right behind this door.
Sometimes I envy your decisiveness, Vertin. I'm sure many people have praised this special talent of yours.
Are you all right? You don't seem as excited as when we first entered Kamala.
The all-seeing sentinel of the Panopticon, veiled within the central tower. If it truly is Aleph, I don't know how to face such a terrifying and increasingly plausible reality.
Sorry to interrupt, but... Timekeeper, I think you'll want to see these.
Signed Erd. This is a letter from Dr. Dorez.
Her handwriting. It's as beautiful as I'd imagined. Who is it addressed to? Dear Mr. Aleph. Aleph?
Looks like Dorez and Aleph are acquaintances. Or at least, they've had some correspondence. Dear Mr. Aleph, my apologies if this reaches you at an inconvenient time. I am Dorez, pen name Erd, an ordinary inmate of the Panopticon of Kamala. I write seeking your guidance, if you wouldn't mind offering it to me. I heard from the physician, Dr. Merlin, that...
you have the answer to every question. A statement which has been echoed by the idealist and the other inmates. I have something I wish to ask you. What exactly is your role at the prison? Chief Warden? A secret backer? An observer who dominates the prison? Are you truly the supreme ruler of the Panopticon of Kamala?
Dear Erd, I do indeed have answers for every question, including yours. I'm afraid every one of your speculations is off the mark. I am merely an inmate who chose to imprison himself here. And allow me to point out that your identity isn't as ordinary as you claim. Why is it that you, my fellow inmate and guest of Manus Vindictae, are so interested in Kamala?
Dr. Doris? A guest of Manus Vindictae?
It came from inside the room. Do you think they're okay?
The jailer and the physician! What happened?
I'm not sure, but it could be bad. Come on, let's go in and see if they're all right. It seems we've stumbled upon the physician's...
The physician's office. I should have known. But... is this an operating room? As if this prison wasn't bizarre enough already.
Didn't I tell you to wait outside? What do you think you're doing barging in like this?
We were just worried about your safety, jailer.
Enough. Get out of...
Quiet. The reptilian complex governs all our fundamental functions. Our heartbeat, breathing, fight or flight responses, and our territory and hierarchy awareness. Our primitive ancestors, like reptiles and birds, followed such instincts to survive. Through millions of years of evolution, we developed the limbic system. This processes emotions and forms memories. It allows us to feel fear, sadness, anger, joy. Our behaviors are given meaning. Now it's the neocortex that makes up more than 2/3 of our total brain volume. Language, perception, logical reasoning, abstract thought. This is what forms the complexity of human nature. We read, create, perceive. We try to understand both the world and ourselves. We are forever setting goals, one after another. And all this, these multitudes, happens within the confines of the skull, in the tight folds of the crowded cerebral cortex.
Is he performing surgery?
Such a delicate and elaborate organ. Were it unable to forget, what would come of it? Can this space, no larger than the palm of my hand, truly accommodate dozens of people at once?
What's happened to the patient? It looks like he's dying. ¿Fracasó la cirugía?
Nonsense. The surgery was a tremendous success. I have erased his debilitating hysteria and restored order to the Panopticon. What are you trying to achieve by barging in here? Forget it. The next operation requires my attention. Jailer, show them out. Bring me the next patient in 15 minutes.
I'm sorry, Miss Burton. I'm afraid you have to leave now.
Please, just let us speak with you. It'll only take a moment. I have something very important I need to ask.
Important? Nothing is of greater importance than my experiments in the Panopticon, outsiders. To ensure they continue, the stability of time and schedule is absolutely paramount.
Experiments in the Panopticon? So you really are the controller of the prison, then?
Controller? What an outdated notion. Superficial, really. The Panopticon has no need for such power, regardless of who occupies the central tower, or even if no one's there at all. Every inmate is both the observer and the observed, both wielders and subjects of power. Achieving such a state requires no physical or violent measures. The structure of the Panopticon itself is the mechanism which sustains it. Komala is simply a manifestation of this model. Once I confirm its feasibility and adaptability, this model can be applied to any functional setting with only minor modifications. So far, it has proven to be far superior to any current system of governance in our world, transcendental even. Curse it. Why am I wasting time explaining this to you? Time is running out.
Dr. Marlin, you keep mentioning time. What exactly do you mean by that?
Really? You need to ask? Even those oily-headed lunatics know it. The end of this era is imminent, is it not?
You know about the storm?
That's what you call it, is it? A storm that washes everything away? You employees of the St. Pavlov Foundation should know better than I. Soon, this era and everything in it will cease to exist. I must prove the feasibility of the Panopticon model before this place is turned to ruins, or something even more unrecognizable.
A storm that washes everything away? Burton, what on earth are you two talking about?
No one can predict the era to which we will be reversed. I have seen the eras change time and time again. The transformation of this place, over and over. But no matter which era each of these 9 storms, as you call them, has taken us back to, Cordeismo continues to plague this land. Dependency theorists, martyred revolutionists, I've seen them all. You, young writer, are no different from those intellectuals who were swept away in the rain. There is no romance in this era, only the repeated cycles of madness and brutality. An endless, meaningless struggle. Only in this forgotten corner can we momentarily escape the plundering of the marauders and the chaos they unleash. Although it won't be long before this place is looted by those oily-headed lunatics. Just as it has countless times before on this land as rich as silver. But there is still hope. Even in a wasteland, we may still be saved. As long as I uncover the path to transcendentality, I will find the ultimate answer. Ugh, I've already wasted far too much time on you. Leave, now!
You heard him. Please don't press things any further.
All right, Senora. I get it. Obviously, you don't want to discuss my novel with me anymore. So I won't insist upon it. All the letters we wrote to one another, all those inspiring revisions and suggestions, I guess they meant nothing to you. But there's still something I must tell you. Jailer, could you please allow us a private conversation with the No. With Aleph.
Leave us, Jailer. I'll spare these outsiders 5 minutes.
Dr. Merlin, or should I say Aleph, I don't know why you're using my novel to manipulate the Panopticon. But you need to know that it won't serve your purpose, whether in fiction or reality. You claim that the inmates are both the observer and the observed, and both wielders and subjects of power. How could you be so blind as to not see the true state of the Panopticon? The inmates haven't achieved any perfect order. No, they've devolved into pitiful caricatures of themselves, performers in some endless pantomime to be watched from the central tower. Even their medication has become a prop to demonstrate the so-called randomness of fate in the theater that is the Panopticon. This farce hasn't made the Panopticon a better place. No, it has warped it into a twisted theater of cruelty, where the sick are denied treatment and left to quietly perish in the dark corners of its halls. And literature has died alongside them. This prison is a monster, born under the gaze of this all-seeing power. Aleph, is this truly the ultimate answer you've been searching for?
What? Are you suggesting that this is the answer I've reached? That my experiment has been a failure all along, and I've been too blind to see it? No, impossible. Foucault's theory is flawless. I have removed every obstacle to the running of this prison. It is pure, sacrosanct. I have constantly re-evaluated the system, adjusting my instructions to my subordinates to ensure the most efficient maintenance of the established order. And now, you stand here and tell me that everything I've done has been meaningless from the very beginning? That the power model I have implemented has already been replaced by an alternative? No, outsiders. The perfect order of the Panopticon shall not be disrupted. I will not be swayed by your lies. This facility is superior to all others. Nothing here escapes my notice. That said, it isn't easy to work a miracle, as we all know. I shall personally verify it, all myself.
What's happening?
Visitors from another era. You have come here with plagued ideologies in an attempt to break the subtle balance of the panopticon. But did you not notice the tiles beneath your feet? The cracks and water stains on the walls, constantly changing right before your eyes. This room, the previous room, every room, you have blindly wandered through them, seeing them as nothing more than the building blocks of a monotonous labyrinth. But this place was not born from the chaotic imaginings of a madman. No. Every inch has been crafted through the meticulous harnessing of order and power. Every wisp of spider silk drifting in the wind. Every speck of rust on the gallery rail. Every detail of the panopticon has been built by my own hands. With this ever-shifting die, concepts may be transformed into reality, and ideals into substance. I observe the movement of every entity, the passage of every second. The moment you entered this realm, you too became subjects of my experiment.
Nothing unexpected. For now.
Admit it. This is all getting out of hand.
Impossible! All is under the die's control. What may appear to be chaos is nothing more than a temporary deviation.
I've got some trouble brews. The show's on, hounds. Plan A. Ha! My crucible really has a mind of its own. Time waits for no one, even for a great king. Time waits for no one, even for a great king.
It's special, precise, perfect.
It is far from perfect. You know that as well as I. Why else would we be conducting this experiment?
Great. Now back to the salon.
This happened when the Idealist was attacked too.
To think we've been trapped in a prison fabricated by a die all this time. Did the physician really build all this with such a small, simple object?
The distortion is getting worse. Prepare yourselves to fight or flee.
Please, Dr. Merlin, stop this.
No. You're asking for the impossible. Power model of the Panopticon is destined to permeate all of society. Such insignificant interferences could never plunge it into chaos.
But it already has, Merlin. You failed.
I have not failed, as long as I keep the prison running.
It isn't your power model running the prison. It's the die. It's simply a form of magic, unrelated to the microphysics of power you seek. It provides no aid in your experimentation with power. It's a false hope. A castle in the sky given to you by the military junta and Manus Vindictae.
Manus Vindictae? So you really are working with them. What exactly do you intend to do?
Then I've also failed. I've ended up a pathetic fool, lost in the chaos of reality. just like the idealist chasing visceral realism, Paracelsus seeking the fountain of youth, and Zahir obsessing over the one-sided coin. When did it all start falling apart, Aleph? When the doorknob loosened? When the prisoner's wounds started to fester? Or when the daily disinfectant concentration reached 28 milligrams? Or the crack in the second gray brick on the wall expanded to 6 millimeters? Or was it when Warden Tartuffe left Ushuaia with news of the Foucault Association's dissolution? This place should have been the ideal ground for psychoanalytic practice. Why did they halt all research, all discussion? We've been abandoned, haven't we? By eras old and new. You designed and have maintained everything in Kamala, right down to the smallest details. But it is these details that trap you, and as the bars close around you, you are losing your name, Merlin, and you're becoming a physician, a man forever imprisoned within these walls. I don't understand. All these false eras are like a dreadful novel with no conclusion. Trying to find answers within such things is, in itself, a mistake. Much like them, you are destined never to attain transcendentality. Tell me, Aleph, does the ultimate answer even exist?
Timekeeper, are you alright?
Yes. And you? And Miss Recoleta? Are you okay? Miss Recoleta? You're...
The word utopia derives from Greek. It means no place. People cannot understand the structure of the labyrinth, yet they continue to follow its paths. They cannot comprehend the mechanics of fate, yet they believe in its jurisdiction. As if, by doing so, everything will naturally fall into place. And now, the polar night approaches. How good it is to see you, pen pal.
Where did the physician go? Wait. Sir? Are you... Aleph. It's you. My pen pal. You are, in fact, in Komala. All those letters, all the ideas we shared, they weren't just my imagination or some prank.
Furton, Soneto, it's all just as I told you. They weren't meaningless. They're all real.
So, sir, are you Aleph, the ruler of this prison? Are you the one controlling the panopticon with the die? The one hiding Miss Dores's whereabouts?
What curious inquiries. Quite different from the last 2,666 questions I've received. My guests, you may call me Aleph, or by any other name, be it a symbol of God's oneness or a farcical epithet. I am merely one of the many prisoners who voluntarily reside here, a single letter in the alphabet of the Panopticon.
A letter? The way you speak is quite different from Dr. Merlin. Still, I wonder what your relationship is with him. But allow me to make a guess. You're Dr. Merlin, aren't you?
I'm afraid that's not entirely accurate, but you may think of it that way. Merlin is a figment born of my mind, an incomplete reenactment. He is me, yes, but not entirely. He, or rather they, failed to find their answers. They fought against their predestined fates, only to be inevitably crushed under their weight. I simply stood by and watched it all unfold. That was the extent of our relationship.
They?
You've already met Merlin and the Idealist, even witnessed their demise. Shackled by the delusions of verses, the Idealist lost his own name. Merlin, too, imprisoned himself within the system of the Panopticon. I'm sure their desperate pursuits caused you some trouble. Please forgive them. After all, your fleeting encounters led to the demise of them both.
I think I understand now. The Idealist and the Physician are both parts of you. Or, to put it another way, they're your alter egos.
The Physician mentioned Manus Vindictae. What's the relationship between this prison and the Manus?
Visitors from the Foundation. We all witnessed those eras perish. In 1977, not long before the fourth storm, I arrived in Ushuaia. Shortly after, some members of the National Foucault Studies Association reached out to me. But it wasn't just them. An arcanist organization called Manus Vindictae also approached me. Each of them wanted answers. They named me their advisor.
You acted as an advisor to the Manus?
The two parties presented me with a concept and a parable, respectively.
A concept and a parable?
The Foucault Association sought to explore the feasibility of the Panopticon concept here, while Manus Vindictae showed me a parable of the past and future. Day and night, I wandered through endless texts, endless realities, as I searched for answers. And thus, Merlin was born. He was both an experiment and a price I paid. A new concept, a new direction. Pursuing such things always leaves me confined by the limitations of human knowledge. Merlin spent his entire life exploring Foucault's theories in pursuit of that singular yet infinite answer.
What about the Manus, Mr. Aleph? You didn't explain why you helped them.
Explain why? Because they asked me to, just as you have. I simply worked to answer their questions.
So you're saying that, to you, we are no different from Manus Vindictae? And if we ask, you'll answer us, without holding anything back?
Is that not precisely what is happening this very moment? This is what the Manus gave Merlin. A magical die named the Tear of Komala. It was once a gemstone that belonged to a god. At the beginning of the century, explorers plucked it from an ancient gate they discovered in Antarctica. To the explorers' amazement, the gemstone could turn human desires into reality. So they cut it into a die, a symbol of fate, and used it to build a sanatorium, which was later transformed into the panopticon you are standing in right now.
Then, Aleph, you really are the mastermind behind the panopticon? You said Merlin used the panopticon to seek his answer. What does that have to do with my novel? I don't get it, Aleph. Why would you use my novel to manipulate this place? Roberta, Garcia, Octavia, Pablo, the jailer, everyone. Not one of them deserved to be trapped in a deadly loop in which everyone's fate is already predestined. They're just like the ghosts in Amalfitano, inescapably trapped within the ruins. Tell me, what is it you really want?
It's not about what I want. It's about what you want. The third line of your first letter. You said you wanted to give the rise and fall of sanity an ending.